Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith. This is Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and what a beautiful morning for trading it was. And if it wasn't for you, you're not paying attention. So listen here. All right, let's take a look. So there's things that we've been talking about over and over and over again since I've been here, and I've talked about how things are going to be very repetitive. Right now, am I doing a series about broadening formations? I am on my channel, and that's all free. And have I talked about the ones that are going on today? Right now in the SPY this week? I have. Let's take a look. So what happened today in the SPY? It was absolutely beautiful. So here we gap up on the opening slightly, right? 15 minute. All right. Slightly gap higher, right? And so what we know about that is that you can't have an outside bar unless you take out one side of the previous range first, right? So let's take a look at our daily. Did we do that? We did, right? So you take out one side of the previous range. Then when it starts ripping back through, because we know outside bars exist and this is red, we're looking to take this out at least, right? Which we did. So if you go to a 60 minute here, right? So this is a lower formation. Took this out, wasn't strong enough to take that out. And now these are an outside bar of all this, right? So we knew on the 60 here, once it starts coming through here, we're going to at least take that out first, which it did, right? Then have I talked about the outside bar, and then after that, if it keeps going, that's continuing to expand the range? It is, giving us the outside day. So you can hit it right here. And had you known about this outside then down, you know what else you would have caught? Hello, March, outside bar, boom, on the monthly and down. So as the SPY comes in, gives us the outside day. Do I also talk about new hours are like a new day to us? I do. So when you got it on the way down, let's go to the 5 minute too, because this is fun. Here. Right? Because we saw it in here, then we saw this here, right? This, all of this here was an inside bar of this until it tried to expand the range and failed right here. That's a reversal right on the 5 minute, gets you right in on the top, right at the beginning. Let's say you miss that and it goes down here and comes back up right here. As it breaks back below that, reversal back down, you're inside 5 minute, boom. And then once we go down, right, then we know when there's a new 60 coming on, it's like a new day to us, isn't it? It is. Take a look at this here. So it opens, right? Dips down, but once this thing goes back green, here's what you had. The inside bar on the 30 minute, right? Is that what we look for? It is. The down, the inside of the new hour. And we know we're going to probably be an inside bar on the 60 here, right? Which we just became, right? Hold on. And so, but we know that we're waiting for that new 60 to see if the programs are on or off, right? Here. So now it's an inside 60. Now you can see it starting to drop again, right? So what you can do is with all the money you made on the way down, then you take this on the way up, and then you got a new hour. And if it starts sticking down, you just take that money too, right? So now we're going to look to see if we can come back down and take all this stuff out. Because if you look at QQQ, it's too strong to go outside those so far. But now we got a new 60 minute benchmark. So the question is for the SPY, how are you going to get out here? How do we get out of this hour's range is what we want to know about, right? And so right now what you're seeing is strength and weakness in different things. Right now I got Marna popping a little bit here, I see. So there's been discernible strength and weakness in the market, which is good. So when it flatlines, then you can see the natural buyers and sellers in the stocks. Marna coming up right now. Let's just do it on the daily. Okay, still an inside week for Marna, but you know, these vacciners can heat up real fast. As you can see, they just went after it. Can you see this? Right on the 5 minute. Guess what they told it to do this hour? Buy. Right. We've also got Roku. Roku, right out the chute. Was this in my video last night? It was. Inside day, right? Up, and upper left. Up, sideways, inside day. Give me measured move of this. See? Boom. How about the weekly? Is this what we look for? To take out the high, take out the low, and then come back through and form the compound outside bar? It is. We also like things that are taking out last month's highs. So Roku right now, went inside and up on the 60. You can see this up, sideways up, and now you got a new 60 to deal with. So we'll see how that goes. Watching these futures, like I said, they're nowhere near taking out that bar. And so we're going to be keeping on the strength and weaknesses of the stocks. Alt. Good, boy. And after yesterday's real strong move here, you got this inside 60 to the upside here. Now it's backing off. But one of those patterns we tell you to look for all the time, right? Here. You see this in the lower left? The inside bar pokes down. Boom, 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 boom. Pivot machine gun take these guys out, right? Which triggered the 60 up. And so in 10 minutes, this thing went from 2163 to a high of 2465, right? Then you can wait for it to do it again here, inside bar, down, inside and back up. Then you get your reversal here. So we'll see how that goes. ZS. And ZS here, remember we talked about this yesterday coming through that, right, on the upper left. And then if we go to the middle, upper middle, there's that inside bar poke down and back up. Did we talk about that? We certainly did. And if we can get it yourselves a 30 or something on the way up, you go inside 30. It's a little fast on the way up, but we'll see. Still going. Market's still consolidating as we can expect to try and get out of that range. We also had SMH doing this. Here, SMH goes the inside day to the upside, right, but then comes back in here. But right out the chute, there was 45 minutes or so of good action on the upside. And all you do when you see that is you break it down to the members of the SMHs. We had AMD. AMD for a while didn't stop until it quit here. Now we'll see if AMD regroups. Now you got your inside 60. So AMD right now, we'd be looking above 55, 59. You'll also notice on the daily here, is this a pattern we look for? It is. Take out one side, take out the other, and then go back up and form the outside bar. Totally is. How about the weekly? Down, back through previous range to become the outside bar of this and maybe that. We'll see how that goes. We had the band. And the band here, you can see monthly, lower middle, bright green, weekly, bright green, daily, bright green. And then what do we look for? The inside 60 down here. See that? Right there, band, over 140.38, trading 142.25. We've got a shop, maybe here. Shop inside on the 60. But what you look for, here's that inside day up here. We're looking for that. Is that if the market continues to recover, the things that didn't get hit when the market was getting hit, right? If we start coming back up, that there's no reason to believe they're not going to go. So we can look at stuff like that. You got FSLY. FSLY. Now you got an inside 60 in this thing. Everything else is green, right? If we go to F5. F5 now, we'll see if F5 you can see in the daily comes back through previous range up here. It's an outside week in the middle, still jammed up in the month. So that's a bit of a concern, but it's been strong today and it stayed above its opening. So for the next hour, if we can go take out the high, take out the low in the 60 and be above 142 here, we're looking for signals above 142. UPWK. UPWK just went to the highs off the inside 60, right? And you see green on all time frames. Is that what we look for? It definitely is. Spotify. And Spotify, inside on the 60 right now, green on all time frames. So above this here, if we can get Spotify above 278.30. VERI. And VERI, a nice move too here. And if you go down to the upper middle or lower left, now it's just gets jammed up in here. Let's see if we got that 30. Inside in the 30 pokes up, not really going. So what's going on AMCX here? AMCX popping for some reason. AMCX just on right now. There we go. So you can stay on that. Okay. Well, let's get to the downside. We're running out of time here. On the Tuesday nights, I do the Strat Attack report, and there's specific things that I talked about. Things taken out last month's lows, right? Here's Northrop Grumman, all right? We talked about that? We did. Here, boom, having all sorts of problems. Northrop Grumman here in the lower middle, right? Inside weakened down with LMT. I talked about that? Definitely talked about that. I talked about yesterday, and it's taking the month out, and you're weakened down, and you're red on all time frames. So right now, we're going to see if we can get this thing back down below here. 340.189 in the next hour. Inside bar, poke up, and try and, boom, take these guys out. And you got General Dynamics here, below last month's lows, right? Inside week to the downside, upper middle, right? So we'll see if we can get these things going. Right now, market's stalling out in the middle as well it should. I talked specifically about financials being vulnerable here. Zion Bank Corp here. Now, if we can get this thing going back on the 60, that'd be nice because you can see lower middle. It's taking out last month's lows, right? Talked about KIE here. Now taking that out insurers and inside in the 60 and your HIGs, right? Like that, stuff like that, all states. All right, look at that. Look at the inside bar on the monthly in the lower middle. Then it pokes up here and then coming back through. You see that? And now inside on the 60, right? Also an inside week to the downside. Market's trying to firm up a little bit here, though, but we'll see. If we go to energy, UCO, did I talk about this yesterday? The 15-minute and UCO and crude at Seth's. A little bigger. Here, this, and then look, boom. It falls back. We're coming back to previous range. Today's also Thursday, which means natty number day. You ever seen one of these before? Nah, all you had to do is do this. Go to your, what's this? Is this the inside bar pokes up and comes back through? I think it is. How about this? The 60 reversal, pop up and back through previous range, right on the number. Boom. Then if you want to put the tiger in your tank, go after the degasser. If we go to Cigna, talk about healthcare being vulnerable. I did. Below last week's lows, below last month's lows, right? Now inside in the 60. Okay, you got a few more minutes here. So stuff like that. More financials. Capital One, definitely talked about that. Capital One taking out last month's lows. These guys vulnerable, right? Red on the week. Discover Financial below last month's lows, right? And with the energies, we've got XLE here taking out last month's lows. How's OIH doing? Okay, getting there, and we're looking at like refiners too, like PSX taking out last month's lows, having all sorts of problems here. How's MPC doing? Right there. So Chevron, talked about these guys all being vulnerable, right? I also talked specifically about Motorola, MSI, and we'll see what that happens. Now it's coming back a little bit. Let's see here. Here you go. Below last month's lows. Inside bar pokes up, coming back through down, right? Okay. We have Beyond the Meats. And Beyond the Meats, right out the chute, is something you look for because we had the market gapping up. And so right out the chute, you can, when anybody stayed long, got what they wanted. The market was gapping up, right? But then as the market starts to tank and goes inside day to the downside, we're gonna stop them out. At least these two guys, right? They took care of business real fast on that. What's this? Is this an outside bar and then a continuation? I think it is. Is that something you look for? Def. We go to MHK. This thing getting pounded here too, all right? Inside week down. Taking out last month's lows, red on all time frames. Is that something you want to know about? It is. It is. And so when you follow all these things that I'm talking about, you're always in the right spots. And that's what keeps you longs, like maybe a docu here, still going, right? See the difference? Because a lot of people have been taught to like, I'm going to go down to the old pivot. That's support. I'm going to try to buy it for a bounce play. Wrong answer. You go with the strength and you go with the weakness. And when it stops, get out because things tend, if you do that, you're going to be long the strongest and short the weakest and stopped out on everything else. And then you don't care. We also got some more energy EOG here, taking out last month's lows. You got, how about Concho? CXO? How about PXD? Not yet. So you can keep an eye on PXD. But all these videos that I make are free and they're at my channel at Smith in the Black. Come see it. I'm finishing off a series on the broadening formation. And if you are trying to trade without knowing what that is, good luck. All right, so come and see me full free. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here, Ticker Tacker with the Strat Time Report.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future